Hi, it's rather late now. 都幾夜啦已經 So I haven't been really busy. 我又唔係好忙嘅 but because like I had to bid farewell to my classmate. 咁我今晚就同個同學食farewell 飯啦 So I was out a little bit late. 咁我就出咗去。係啦，有啲嘢啦 ，and then I came home, there was a little bit of work， 跟住我翻嚟又有啲翻譯嘅嘢要做啦，有啲字幕嘅嘢要做啦 ，so I almost forgot to read， 咁我差啲唔記得咗咧，我今日係未讀書嘅 ，so here I am， 咁我唔緊要，我係臨瞓之前都仲記得 ，and then like I just realized it as I went into bed，and I was like oh I haven't read yet， 咁我就係啦，啱上咗床啊已經，跟住我今日未讀書啊咁 ，so and then like I came back out， so you see my hair is all over the place， 你見到啲頭髮飛晒出嚟啦咁樣樣 ，so very quickly this morning I went on a tour, right? I told you yesterday。咁琴日我同大家講啦，我報咗名參加呢個導賞團啦。So I arrived like around like 25 minutes before the meeting time。咁我就大概集合時間前5個字我就到咗啦咁。So I was still very excited and happy。咁我超興奮啦，又好開心啦咁。I went there at the park and there were people, so they were chatting me up。咁我去到嘅時候就有人坐喺嗰度食緊早餐啦，咁跟住就撩我傾偈啦。So I was even practicing my Spanish。咁我又喺度練習我啲西班牙文啦。And then I was like a 8:15， 咁跟住咧就8:03啦。And there was still no sign of like the guided tour, like the tour guide or you know like other people who were supposed to be on the tour。咁咧8:03嘅時候又唔覺眼有其他好似係參加呢個團嘅人啦，又唔見個街啦咁樣。So I was checking my messages on the app， 咁我就喺我即係訂嗰個 app 嗰度就睇有冇信息啦咁。And then all of a sudden， 突然之間咧 ，there was this message telling me that you have been refunded and then you'll receive in full like maybe in 5 days。咁跟住就話俾我知咧，我哋已經咧處理好你嗰個退款啦，咁你就應該5日之內就會收翻錢咁樣樣啦。And I was like what? There was no message at all。咁但係完全係冇信息，即係冇講取消咩都冇啦，淨係就咁話退咗錢俾我啦咁。So I got really upset。咁我有啲燥咗啦 ，because it was early, right？ 咁因為首先係早啦 ，and then I picked this tour， 咁我揀咗呢個 tour so that I wouldn't be able to go to another tour， 咁我就唔可以去另一個團啦 ，because it's like a half day thing， 咁因為呢個係半日嘅事情啦 ，and I stay in a place which is not close to the centre， 咁同埋咧，我唔係住喺市中心嘅附近嘅，即係我係要特登喺呢度碌過去。So I had to like wake up earlier and then I had to take a motor taxi to go there。咁我係要接架電單車的士上去咁樣樣。If I chose to walk， 如果我係行嘅話咧 ，it would take an hour and 15 minutes to get there。我係要行1個鐘頭15分鐘，我先會行到去嗰度嘅。So luckily I didn't walk。咁好彩我冇行啦。But still, it was annoying。咁但係咧，我就覺得好燥啦，因為已經出咗嚟啦嘛。And it's so early, and I was out there on the street。咁早咁咩都未開啦咁樣。And I ate already as well。然後我仲已經食咗早餐啦。And so I was just really like I was disappointed, and I was just annoyed by the fact that there was no message。我其實係燥乜嘢咧？我係燥佢冇信息俾我，即係唔係你退唔退錢俾我問題。It's not about just like refunding, you know, like it's just kind of like a courtesy, you know, like to write something, right？ 即係喂咁樣基本你 send 個信息，喂 sorry， 即係啦，有急事咩都好啊咁。I tried to send 2 messages and nobody replied。咁我有 send 咗2個 message， 冇人應機啦，即係咁樣樣。So anyway。I went to the park and see some monkeys just to sort of like calm myself down。咁我為咗咧 撫平我呢個燥底咧，我就走咗去公園睇馬騮啦咁。They were so cute， 咁佢哋係超可愛嘅。They very small， they are kind of like a squirrel size。佢哋呢一隻係迷你版嘅馬騮仔咧，係好似隻松鼠咁大隻嘅啫。And this morning I managed to see like a number of them。And they were just running around on the trees, like crossing the road, and it was like so cute。咁我今朝早仲好彩啦，見到佢哋一班咧就喺啲樹度咧跳嚟跳去，同埋咧就跑過即係嗰個公園嗰條行人路嘅對面嗰啲樹度啦咁樣。So and I feel a little bit better， 咁我已經覺得好啲啦。And then I went to this cafe which I always wanted to try。咁我就去咗一間咧，我成日都好想試嘅 cafe 嗰度，咁就飲手沖。So I ordered a hand pour coffee, which is kind of rare and a little bit difficult to find here in Colombia。咁喺呢一度其實係難揾到有手沖飲嘅，所以咧我都即係都好開心可以去試下啦咁樣。And it was so good， 咁係超好飲。And so immediately I was like happy again。咁跟住我就開心翻啦。係啊，咁我想講咧，喺呢個生活就係咁樣，飲杯咖啡我就會開心翻啦咁。So anyway, like later in the day, around like 2:30, I received a message saying that the guy had a health emergency, and so like they had to rush him to the ER and everything。咁後嚟2點半嘅時候就收到信息就話即係今日本身要帶嗰個街就有啲即係健康嘅問題出咗事，咁佢哋就要去處理咁樣，所以就唔得閒覆我啦，就係咁。So anyway, but I actually managed to get to the market。咁但係咧我就翻咗去個市集嗰度啦，嗰度好似七同七咁樣樣，好似泰國七同七。咁咧就and then because like。the last time I was in the market, I was on the tour, and then the tour guide bought us like some fried fish with yuca。咁我上次去嘅時候咧，就跟一個即係啲導賞團啦咁樣樣。咁個街咧就買咗啲炸魚俾我哋食啦，同跟一啲佢哋叫 yuca， 即係類似佢哋係另一啲即係根莖類嘅植物啦，食落去嗰個感覺有啲似薯仔咁樣樣嘅咁。And I was really like this is like the best food I have had in Colombia. Like this is the food that I've always wanted to go back and eat it, you know, like it was so good。咁我呢一個咧係我食過喺哥倫比亞我食過最中意食嘅嘢，最覺得好想翻去食，成日都好想翻去食，係覺得好好食、超好食嘅嘢。And it's not expensive， 同埋佢係唔貴嘅咁樣樣。So I went back to the market, I walked around again just to see, you know, the fish, the birds over the fish stall, and the fruit and everything, you know, I bought a few vegetables。咁我就去行咗一輪街市啦，咁又睇生果、睇魚、睇剩，咁跟住然後又喺嗰度買咗啲蔬菜啦咁樣。And then 咁跟住咧 I went to get my fried fish and yuca。咁跟住我就走去買炸魚 yuca 啦咁樣樣。And I brought them home, like I ordered takeaway。咁我就咧買外賣。At first I was like I thought I would sit down and eat there。我最初諗住係坐低食嘅，but then it was still too early。It was like 11:30 when I get to that place。咁但係我去到成11點半啦，咁我就覺得太早，我又唔想食住。So I was like let me just bring it home, you know。咁我就諗住好啦，唔緊要啦，我就坐巴士翻嚟屋企先食啦咁。So I took the bus and then I came home and after an hour， 咁我翻到嚟已經係成個鐘之後嘅事啦嚇。咁It was still so delicious， 係依然超好食咯 ！Oh my god，it was just really amazing， 真係好好食，係超滑啦，超鮮甜，即係雖然係炸嘅魚，但係佢依然係仲有好多汁。Oh my god，it's just really good。So I'm going to go back again 我係繼續會再翻去揾嚟食，嗰個太好食。And they're so happy because like even this takeaway, like after 1 hour, you know, waiting for the bus and on the bus coming back home, it's still so delicious。咁同埋即係咧係買外賣翻嚟都仲係好好食喎，咁我就超開心。So anyway, and then I came home, I studied a little of Spanish。咁跟住我翻嚟又温書啦咁樣，And then I went out for dinner with my friend, and then I came back。咁跟住我出去同我朋友食飯啦，咁跟住翻嚟啦 ，and then I got a little bit of job， 咁跟住我有少少嘢做啦，咁 and now I'm reading。咁我而家就讀書啦。 Read to Resist, Day 261。當閱讀也是抗爭，第261日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Carroll。香港簡史，從殖民地至特別行政區，著者高馬可，譯者林立慧。There are, however, good reasons not to overemphasize the role. Sorry, this is the wrong bit. Something is missing here. I'm so sorry. Here. Okay, this is the part. Okay, let's start again. Ho returned in 1882 to Hong Kong, where after running a short-lived medical practice, he began his career as a barrister at law and, like his father, invested in real estate and local businesses. He also developed a distinguished career in public service. In 1890, he was appointed as the Chinese unofficial member of the Legislative Council. He was the main founder of the Alice Memorial Hospital, named after his deceased wife, Alice Walken, whom he had married while in England, and of the College of Medicine, where he taught physiology and medical jurisprudence. He was also a member of the advisory committees of the Po Leung Kok and the Tonghua Hospital, meaning that he was a government appointee and not elected by the Chinese themselves. For his services to the colony and the British Crown, he was made a companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George in 1892 and was knighted in 1912. 何啟在1882年回到香港，掛牌行醫一段短時間後，轉而發展大律師事業，又像其父一樣投資房地產和本地生意，在公職方面也事業顯赫。他在1890年獲委任為立法局非官守議員，並且是雅麗氏利濟醫院，以其亡妻雅麗氏 Alice Walken 命名。他兩是在英國結婚，和香港西醫書院主要創辦人。他在香港西醫書院教授生理學和法醫學，又兼任保良局和東華醫院顧問。此顧問職務是由政府委任，而非由華人推選。何啟因服務殖民地和英國政府的公職卓著，在1892年獲頒聖米迦勒及聖喬治勳章 （Companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George）。1912年更獲冊封爵士。Inspired by liberal thinkers such as John Locke, Adam Smith, Jeremy Bentham, and John Stuart Mill, Ho saw British rule as liberating rather than oppressive. He believed that Hong Kong could be a commercial and political model for China, and that, like Britain, China should be a constitutional monarchy with people's rights. He was proud of Hong Kong, which he considered more prosperous and politically stable than any Chinese city. Its government less corrupt and repressive, and its education and civil service systems better than anything China had to offer. Hong Kong represented the best of two worlds: Chinese entrepreneurship encouraged and protected by British free trade and liberal government. Just as commerce had been made Hong Kong more prosperous and stable than China, the cure for China would also be commerce, supported by British liberalism and parliamentary government. With his friend Hu Lin Yuan, Ho expressed this belief in a series of political treatises that were later published in 1900 in a 6-volume work called The True Meaning of New Government. 何啟深受洛克 John Locke、亞當斯密 Adam Smith、邊沁和穆勒等自由主義思想家啟發，認為英國統治有解放之功，而非專事壓迫。他相信香港可以在商業和政治上垂範中國，而中國應借鑑英國，實行人民自主的君主立憲制。他為香港感到自豪，認為香港的繁榮和政治穩定是任何一個中國城市均難望其項背，而且香港政府沒有那麼腐敗和高壓，香港的教育和公務員制度是中國所望塵莫及。香港代表兩個世界的精髓， 由英國人自由貿易原則和自由開明管治所支持和保護的中國工商企業精神。香港得益於商業發展，變得比中國更繁榮和穩定。因此，治療中國的良方，同樣是以英式自由主義和議會政治為支柱的商業發展。何啟與其友胡禮垣發表了一系列政論文章，表達這種思想，並在1900年結集為6卷本的《新政真傳》出版。So this is the reading of today。咁我哋今日就讀到呢一度啦，咁樣。And we're still continuing about like 何啟 this character。咁我哋繼續喺度講何啟呢個人啦，咁樣樣。So it seems like he's a trait of many kinds, like a doctor, a barrister, and then academic, political science, and then philanthropist, like and 係啦，咁佢好似係好多嘢咁樣樣啦，即係係啦，周身刀咁樣都好似張都嚟嘅咁樣樣。咁it's interesting to see like his political view as well。咁我覺得咧，佢呢度講佢嗰個嘅即係佢對嗰個政治上面嘅睇法，即係香港點解比中國出色嗰樣嘢，即係and how he see that colonialism is actually better。咁然後佢就即係講到即係殖民管治係好過即係清政府啦咁。So I have to stress this。咁我必須要強調嘅就係咧 ，at the time it was not China。嗰陣時唔係叫中國嘅 ，at the time it was Qing Dynasty。當時咧係清朝 ，and Qing Dynasty is actually Manchurian。咁而佢哋其實係滿洲人。So at the time。While we keep on saying like we are the colony of the Brits， 咁我哋雖然 keep 住講我哋係英國殖民地都好啦。In fact, like the Han people were actually being colonized by the Manchurians。咁但係其實當時即係喺呢一個中原呢個地方發生緊嘅事就係漢人係俾滿人係殖民統治中嘅都係，即係其實我哋都係俾佢佔領咗成個地方，然後佢去統治我哋啊嘛咁樣。So in that sense, like that's why what Sun Yat-sen was doing, like the revolution is all about like, sort of like revolution against the Manchurians, 咁所以嗰時就係反清復明啊嘛，其實就係反乜嘢？就係反滿洲人啊嘛，就係要攞翻就係漢人嘅管治。So that's why it's complicated。咁我就覺得係因為咁就係好複雜。Because like while the West were colonizing Africa, Latin America, they were colonizing indigenous people, right？ 咁當即係西方國家佢哋去南美洲，佢哋去非洲，佢哋去殖民當地人嘅時候咧，佢哋係殖民緊當地嘅原住民，就係本身嗰堆人，嗰啲人就係當地原住人，當地嘅人。Now, but while they are taking Hong Kong away from Qing Dynasty， 但係當佢哋喺清政府手上攞走香港嘅時候咧 ，Hong Kong was already like a colony of the Manchurian government。咁但係其實當時香港已經本身都唔係應該係唔應該歸滿洲人管㗎嘛。咁但係滿洲人都係走去管呢個即係香港咁樣樣。And so like I think like this is why it's so complex。咁我覺得就係因為咁所以咁複雜。Because Hong Kongers or at the time people especially in Canton area like these Chinese they do not feel the Manchurian government is their own government or is their own country。咁因為滿洲根本就唔係佢哋嘅國家，滿洲根本就唔係佢哋自己嗰個族，唔係我哋嘅族啊嘛。So then when the Brits came， 咁然後好啦，英國佬嚟啦，割走咗我哋啦咁樣。So for us it's just kind of like it's just like from one thief to another 咁其實只不過係移交拆贓啫，你明唔明啊？即係啦，我哋從一開始就俾人偷咗，跟住然後而家又俾第二個賊搶走啫咁樣樣。So you can see like why there is no loyalty in that sense like towards like at least like to the Qing government or to whatever you call it China at the time。咁所以即係話對嗰個清政府又或者你而家叫佢中國都好咩都好啦咁樣，係冇嗰種歸屬感，其實係好唔出奇嘅。That of course like when the Brits were doing good in Hong Kong， 咁然後當英國佬喺香港即係開始做啲好嘢啦，咁 it was helping Hong Kong to become destabilized and you know like economically like sound society。咁然後當英國佬可以令到香港變成繁榮穩定嘅時候 ，then of course nobody would want to like have anything to do with Qing Dynasty anymore。咁當時即係當然就大家就唔會想同清政府有任何瓜葛啦，即係咁樣樣。So there's a bit of like this kind of like historical background that Hong Kongers they tend to be more proud in a way and always feel that like you know they have a higher status than any other cities in China。咁所以我覺得即係都係因為咁，我哋香港人係即係比較自豪啲，又或者成日都會覺得我哋即係勁過中國大陸嘅即係其他唔同嘅城市咁。So I think that's interesting to see like actually stem from this history。咁我覺得幾有趣，其實即係嗰樣嘢唔係話我哋去到80、90年代經濟起飛，我哋先至係咁鬼衰格，即係睇唔起大陸人咁樣樣，而係即係其實今個歷史本身香港人就係咁樣樣嘅。So anyway, this is it for today。咁我哋今日就完成啦。And tomorrow I'm going to back to school。咁我聽日就重新返學啦。Wish me luck， 咁我祝我好運啦咁樣。So and that's why on the 8th day of the Lunar New Year， 咁所以咧兔年嘅大年初8，我就繼續恭喜大家。So I'm going to wish everybody to learn something new this year。咁咧希望大家咧今年人係可以學到樣新嘅嘢 ，and renew yourself and find a new part of yourself and discover a new part of yourself。咁咧就係重新發現自己啦，重整自己啦，有一個新嘅自己咧可以生出嚟啦。咁發揮自己更多唔同嘅潛能啦咁。And for me, and then I hope I can do much better in Spanish。咁我哋希望自己學業進步啦，西班牙文越講越好。恭喜恭喜 ！See you again tomorrow. Bye.